Hi guys, my name is Okwayemi Emmanuel. In this tutorial, I'll be editing these pictures in Photoshop. Yeah, I'll be from start to finish. I'll be editing the photo. If you follow my last tutorial, this is supposed to be the part two of the retouching. Color grading and color correcting and color grading capture one. You know, so this is just a completing part. So yeah, I'm afraid this might be a long tutorial, but I'm just going to try as much as possible not for it to be too long. So in other words, I'll be once I start some try way to fast forward, you know, some process that you already know, and we get back to it. If you know you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do wait to subscribe so that this can help my channel grow, and then to help YouTube to keep sharing our content out there, right? Then it will also help you to see more of our next content. Please subscribe and comment, and then also share to more people. Thank you so much for listening. All right. Without any further ado, let's just dive into this tutorial. All right. So here, the first thing I do in Photoshop is to work on my background. But before I work on that, I want to duplicate this background by pressing Ctrl plus J or Command plus J on your Mac, or you rather just drag this. You can drag this and drop it into this new layer icon, then to duplicate for you. You can further go ahead and rename this to healing, like that. And once that is set, you want to take your patch tool, all right, to patch out these unwanted parts from your picture, all right, like that. Once that is done, I want to zoom in and then come to the face and start patching out also. It's J to use your patch tool and start patching it out that way. Okay. Like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Yeah. So the idea is just to remove the obvious blemishes from here. That's just the major idea. I don't have any intention of removing the entire blemishes. Okay, so let's come to the last version and then go ahead and patch out the unwanted parts. The next thing I want to do now is to do corrective touch and burn to this picture to make us fix all the light irregularity in this picture. Alright, so what I'll just do is to create a visible layer of this. Ctrl Shift Alt E or Command Shift Alt E on your keyboard to create that, to create a screen merge of that above the layer. Okay, so after doing that, I want to come to my what's it called here, my actions, and pick one of my favorite actions, the check layer. Highlight dodge and then highlight bone. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do that now. Highlight dodge, then highlight bone, then also I'll create my check layer. Okay, so for those that does not know how to create this, I'll quickly show you how you can quickly create this adjustment. Okay, so I'm just going to off this now. So if you want to create this adjustment, all you need to do is to come to your curve here and then locate curve, then bring this up like this, and come here to invert the curve by pressing Ctrl I on your keyboard, then double click here and rename it to highlight, dodge. Okay, then come to the blending mode option and change the blending mode option to what? Color. Then you need to come to curve again and create for the shadow aspect of it. Come here and say curve, and bring this down like that. Then invert this by pressing Ctrl or Command plus I. Or I am naming it to shadow, and brown. Okay, so once that is done, you want to come to the blending option also and change it to color. Simple. And the next thing you want to do is to pick your brush. So basically this is how we create it. I'm sure you get that. So I'm just going to delete these two and drag it to my waste bin. Then I will on this. So the idea of this check layer is just to use color fill to pick a gray, then also create a white and brightening and contrast, brightening of 33 and the contrast of brightening of 3 and contrast of 33. So I can reduce the contrast, the amount of contrast, so that you can begin to see the region that light is not really covering. Alright, so once that is done, I want to select my highlights. Alright, then once that is done, pick my brush by hitting B on the keyboard, set my key to 5. Some use 1, some use 2, some use 3, but I try to use 5. Alright, so this black and white layer will help us see the irregularities in the alright, as I start painting. Your space like that. Okay, are you saying that? So let's continue. So a quick before and after of what I've done in the forehead region is before and this is after. Okay, so let's continue. The idea of this is to correct the luminosity issue in the picture, all right, and to further smoothen the picture to make sure it gradiates seamlessly. Okay, so let's continue further. Notice there's a place that is too bright. You come to your shadow and pick the brush, cut it down. In a dark place, you dodge it. To the hand region, I'll do the same thing there. So if you feel you have exhausted this highlight, you can still open another highlight. Alright, then you keep painting to remove all the areas, to fix all the, to correct all the light issue in the picture. Then this other hand area, before, after, before, after. Okay, let's turn it back and then back to this and further clean light irregularity. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this now. So let's quickly see a group. Let's group this guy. We can delete this check layer and we don't need it again. So let's group this guy so that you can see before and after. This was before and this is after. Before, after, before, after. Okay, so there's still a lot of job to be done here. Obviously, yes. Then we are still going to make use of our frequency separation for this beautiful picture. All right, so this side we need to darken the shadow. Bring it down so I can create it seamlessly. Okay, so once that's done, I want to create another visible layer for this picture by pressing Control Shift Alt E on Windows and Command Shift Alt E on Mac. Command Shift Option E on Mac. Once that is done, I want to run my advanced frequency separation action. All right. So I'll put my blur radius to 5. All right. Then click OK. Close this. Now I want to start smoothing this image. All right, with the help of frequency separation. Some of you that does not know how to create frequency separation, you can check out my video on how to create frequency separation. All right, so once that is done, I would close the visibility layer of this texture layer, of the two texture layer. Then I'll select the low frequency layer copy. Then I'll start painting with my mixer brush tool. Okay, it be on your keyboard, you know, to go to your mixer brush tool. So follow the settings to get the same result. Okay, make sure your brush is clean. All right, make sure you select the second brush. All right, then custom, set your weight to 30, your flow to 30, your load to 30, then mix to 30, and also flow to 27. If you are using Wacom pad, make sure you click on this. All right, pressure head control. All right, so there we go. And I'm just going to start painting like so. Painting like so, just smoothing out the irregularities in the pictures. Let's go. Doing great work. And here, try to this like that. And try to smoothen this guy here. Use it for smoothing. Like that. So I'll be fast forwarding this also, so that we can quickly round up with the tutorial as fast as possible. Okay, I'm doing a great job here. Okay, so let's go to the hand region here. You need to pay attention to this when you are doing your frequency separation. Yeah, pay attention to every details in the pictures, because all this little thing has a lot to do with the final look of the photo. The point of the fingers, yeah. Okay, so the next hand is come here and do the same thing there. Like that. Doing a great job. So let's come to this side of the leg. You can rotate camera so that it can help you in the item. So to rotate, just hit R on your keyboard and turn it to the direction you want. That's all. Makes sense. So let's continue with this. Hit your arrow again. Turn it in a way that we have more chance to operate. So once that is done, I want to hit R again to put it right. So to make it straight, hold Shift and to clip back to the right proportion. Okay, so this after, this before, and this after, before and after. Okay, that's that. So I'm going to pick on my eye level layer to start removing the blemishes, the other blemishes on my model's face. This time around, I will be using my close stamp. So hit S on your keyboard to have your close stamp selected. Like so. Okay, so Control Alt, Option to select the pencil. We have it. Most of them will collapse this texture layer and select color layer. Then we play with our lasso tool one more time. Okay. Then lasso tool. You can hit L on your keyboard to locate your lasso tool. Alright. So come to filter. After making selection of that, come to filter, come to blur, ocean blur, then track it to 6F15. Come here, make another selection, and then continue playing around with it like that. Yeah. Come to this side and do that. So yeah. And to this side of the face, you want to make a good selection. You want all the skin to radiate. Yeah, and here, you want to make a good triangle. There, smoothing it. And come here, and do the same. Like that. Okay. So that is when we come to this side. You want to reduce the the radius of the side area and another part of the body to, like, let's say 7.5. That's 15 divided by 2. Right? So let's just make it that way and further smoothing it. Okay. Okay, yeah, like that. Let's do the same this region. And the same way at this point. The last part. Okay. Like so. Ctrl D to deselect. Press Ctrl D. Then let's see what we have done. We have perfect skin now already. Perfect skin. So you can still see some texture, some blemishes to remove. You can still make use of your close up and then let all the unnecessary blemishes off it. Off it. Once that is done, the next thing you want to do, you want to reduce the opacity of this frequency separation. Alright, so collapse this and change to, let's say, 70. And the next thing I'm doing is to play with my micro dodging and burning. So I'm just going to run the action down here, micro dodging and burning. Okay, so my flow, I'll keep it at hit B on your keyboard. My flow, I'll keep it at 5 also. But then before I do my micro dodging and burning, I like to check the frequency separation layer so that I can get the actual areas that the way the lights are really come from. So I'm just going to off it like that, level it off, and increase this and start painting on it like that. Okay. Okay, like that. See some door and follow that same traces in the boots. Then to this part of the bust, have some nice highlights, pushing it, and here, so like that, and here let's create some bits, highlights here. Let's follow this like that, and come to this place and create some lights also. This part of the egg also on this side of it. Okay, then go to your gun and and do the same thing to the shadow. That to create all the contours. That makes sense. Okay, so here you do the same thing by this side, and follow the link like that. With a nice dimension for the body. So here, center. And that. So let's see before and after. The micro regional bone before, after, before, after. So let's see our frequency separation there. Let's see before and after, like that. Makes sense. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is to do our global dodging and burning. Okay. So here I'm just going to increase my brush size to 3 to further and then add highlight to the picture to give it that 3D look. So this time around I don't need to off my frequency separation layer. I'm just going to go ahead and do the necessary. That's then for the shadow we'll do the same thing. That's for the bone here. Bone it. The hand is done, do the same thing. Just to give it that 3D look. Okay, makes sense. So let's go off this. Before, after. Let's see where they're coming from. They're coming from here. This one before, and this is after. Before, after. Okay, makes sense. So for the I will still crush down a lot of highlights from here, so you can further reduce the opacity of all this. You can jack this to 70. By this to 50. Okay, like that. And the next thing I want to do is to whiten the eye of my model. Whiten the eye of my model by zooming in like this, and then make use of one of my actions also before acting, which eyes and teeth whiten. Okay, so by so doing you can make use of collapse this. Come to photo filter, mask, and then hit B on your keyboard. Increase the flow back to 100. Alright, reduce the size of the brush, and you can then start painting like that. Start painting. Start painting like that. opacity. Okay, makes sense, right? So after that, I want to use the same thing to create some highlight, shine in this region, and in this region. Yeah, like that. Makes sense, right? So after that, I want to come and reduce the opacity of this to around, let's say, 60. Yeah, it makes sense, 60. Okay, guys, the next thing I'm going to do to this picture now is to, make the makeup pop more. So I'm just going to do that by recreating, I'm just going to do that by opening my new layer, empty new layer, like this. In the blending mode option, I'll change it to color, like that. Then pick my brush. Alright, so pick my brush, I want to sample. I'm going to start from the eye, so I'm just going to zoom in to that part. I will start from the eyes region. Okay, and you zoom out a bit, something like this. So pick my brush with just hit B on your keyboard to pick your brush. So after that, you want to sample, the color. Then come to your color here, then add a bit of more to that color, more intense to that color. So you need to make the color more intense, because the idea is that you want to make it pop, more pop. Alright, so you just paint like that. Opacity, your flow on 100, opacity on 100. So keep painting like that. This will make this makeup pop more. So you need to be careful by doing this. You need to be careful so that you don't want to make a hurtful mistake while painting it. Like that. Okay. Yeah, so we'll come to this side, we do the same thing. Okay, so I need to do that again. So you need to keep increasing and decreasing the size of your brush so that you can get the painting right. Okay, so it makes sense like that. Then after that, I come to the lip region. I'll do the same thing to this upper lip. Also, same thing like that. Then I'll sample this area of the lip to make sure I darken it more. Then I'll paint that way also to make it pop. Like that. So let me zoom out so that you can see the before and after. So here's the before, the paint, and this is the after. So the next thing you want to do is to reduce your opacity. You want to reduce the opacity, let's cut it down to like 40. That makes sense. Oh yeah, if you want it to be more intense, you can jack it to 60. Makes sense. So before, after. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to create a visible screenshot of this whole information here on my layer. Like that. So I will do that by pressing Ctrl+Shift+E on my keyboard. Alright, Ctrl+Shift+E like that. So I'm just going to take this picture further to what's it called? Further to camera raw filter to further grade these pictures. Okay, so I will do that by sending it. Is that I come to this filter and locate my camera raw filter here, or you just make use of the shortcut is shift control A, like that. So just click it like that. So click on this to see the before and after of the two. Then collapse the basic, then collapse the basic, and then increase the highlights to like around 30. Makes sense for me. Then for the detail, you come to details and increase the details like 40. Then the radius to like 1.2. Then the details, the sharpness, sorry, to 40, radius to 1.2, then the details to 50, like that. So you can see the before and after. Zoom before this, the before this, the after. You can see we are bring much details back to the picture by doing so. Okay, so once that is done, I want to come to my color mixer. Yes, I know most times you can still see some irregularity in the picture, so I will reduce the luminance of my orange so that this will help me to kill out some other irregularity in my oranges on this model skin. So I'm just going to reduce it like -9. Yeah, -9. Let me just add 9 there. -9, like that. Then once that is done, I want to come to my calibration. Yeah, color calibration. The blue primary, I would like to gain it up to like 30. That's if I want to enhance the model's look. Alright, like that. Then the gray primary, I will jack it to like, let's say 10 or 5, like that. Yeah, it's a great difference right about now. Alright, which makes more sense. Alright, so once that is done, I want to click on OK. I'm still coming back to to camera raw filter. So the next thing I'm doing now is to further smoothing this background. If you notice, there are some shadow here. I really want the background to be seamless, and there's a light flare coming through here also. I need background to be seamless. So what do I do to that? I'm just going to pick my quick selection tool, like that. Then select subject. Once this subject is selected, switch back to your B brush and make sure you sample the clean region of your background. Okay, then come to a max here to max out the selection. Alright, so that you can have the subject like that. Then the next thing I want to do is to come to my adjustment layer, then pick my solid color. Alright, then click OK, because I've sampled the color. The foreground color is already the initial background color. Alright, so let's just click OK. So the next thing I will do is to drag this layer down to this layer mask layer. Alright, so we can have our picture in there like that. So we have a seamless background already. So the next thing I will do is to create a visible screenshot layer for this, again by holding Ctrl Shift or E on my keyboard. Alright, so after doing that, I will send this picture back to camera raw filter again by going to filter, then click camera raw filter. Okay, camera raw, like that. So once you are in camera raw, what we are doing here is not too much. We are going to our effects. Just going to add some grains to the background, because the background looks so plain and it's not expected to look that way. So we just want to make it really editable. So we're just going to have grains of 20, alright, on it. Then also for this, we might be adding a bit of depth to it. Let's say 21. Then the midpoint, you want to reduce it so that you can direct the eyes of the audience to the face of the model when they are looking at the picture. Alright, then feathering, increase the feather like 80 something or thereabout, like that. So once you are done with that, you can then click on OK. So this is where we are coming from. This is before, and then this is after. Before and after. So that's well said. To take this picture further, I want to prioritize the highlight in this photo the more. So I'm just going to duplicate this guy by holding Ctrl and then J on my keyboard. or Command plus J on your Mac, right? To duplicate this layer, then come to your blending option, change the blending option to screen. All right, change the blending option to screen, then double click here to remove the highlight from the shadow and just let it be on the highlighted region only, just like that. Yeah, just like that. Then once you are here, hold alternate key on your keyboard, option key on Mac, and then click to split this. Click to split. All right, so that you can have a smooth and nice gradient transition among the highlight and shadow, between the highlight and shadow and the midtone. All right, so once that is done, come to image and say apply image. Okay, then click okay. This will help Photoshop to calculate the the right highlight, the right midtone and shadow for this image, with what we have done. So once that is done, this before that, this after that. Okay, create this kind of 3D dimension to this image. So Control Shift Alt A to create another visible layer like that. So once that is done, I can say we have done a great job already. All right, so I can still further come to this side, to my adjustment to create some S-curve, to create some contrast to this image by bringing down the shadow. By bringing down the shadow a bit, then also raising the highlights a bit, just a little bit, not too much, something like that. Yeah, something like that. So here is before, here is after. So once that is done, you can come to your opacity here to reduce it back to, let's say, 40. Just cut it down. All right, like that. So once that is done, create another visibility shift layer. Create another visible screen shot layer by holding Control Shift Alt E, like that. Create that. So once that's done, you want to come to your file, then place my logo on it, place embedded, all right, something like this. Then you can further scale it down depending on your choice. Makes sense. Just make sure you centralize it. So then it's okay to commit that. So once that is done, you want to export this photo, and that's the last phase. So hold Control Shift Alt W on your keyboard, to Control Shift Alt W on your keyboard, or you come to File and say Export, then Export As. All right, so Export As, it will give you the same page, so you can set the JPEG, your format JPEG, then quality, depending on the higher the quality, the more megabytes you have here. Presently now I'm on 80, so I have 5 MB. All right, if I jack it on 100 to increase the amount of quality, and also to increase amount of megabyte that this picture will be consuming. All right, so I don't need 10.5 megabytes, I just need something like 5 megabytes, and I'm okay with that. So here for the sampling, come to make sure you select by cubic sharper like that. Then here make sure you check embed color profile. Make sure you check embed color profile. Then once that is all set, you click on export. All right, so the capture one, Photoshop will ask you, this picture I think I've saved it before, so I'm just going to resave it again, and then let's say place for me like that. Okay, done. So guys, this is how I retouch my photo from start to finish in Photoshop. If you stay through this tutorial, definitely you have learned one or two things today, and obviously I will say that do well to subscribe so that you can see more of this beautiful content every time I post, and also do well to share and help me so that YouTube will keep sharing our video here and there so that people can know that we are creating good content here. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Let's create and grow together, and peace out.